So I usually collect about 8 trays, 8.5 to 9 trays per day for my flock, guys. But 2 weeks ago, I started experiencing a reduction in the number of eggs that I usually collect. So, I got alerted with that. As a farmer, you have to be alerted with when such thing happens because that's money moving out of the business. So I was surprised that wow, the number has reduced. It has gone down drastically, and then you begin to find out the solution. What is the problem? So first I thought it is maybe the feeds. Maybe there's a low protein. The protein wasn't enough in the feeds, so I decided to buy some ready-made commercial feeds, which didn't really solve the problem. So you see, 2 days later, 3 days, the chickens were still laying the same 7 trays, guys, and expecting 9 trays at least in a day. So it turns out that it wasn't the feeds, guys. It wasn't the problem with the feeds. It wasn't the problem with the protein content. My feeds were okay. As I showed you the formula earlier in the previous videos, you can watch that on how to formulate a perfect layers feed, and it will give you a greater percentage in terms of laying, guys. So I was shocked. Now, just like a car, when a car breaks down, guys, you have to think of the many solutions, guys. There's no one particular solution to maybe a broken down a car which is not moving, which is not functioning in the correct way. So you think of various things. What is causing this? You look at the engine, you look at the fuel, you look at the battery. Is it connected? Is it intact? You look at a number of things, guys. The same thing happens to poultry. You look at when your chickens drop production of eggs, you have to look at a number of things. Now, it is not just a one thing, but it's a number of things, guys, you take into consideration. So one of them being maybe the feeds. Obviously, you start with that, the feeds. Number two, you look at the diseases. Maybe are the chickens infected with some diseases that you are not aware of? You see. So you look at that. Maybe the temperature. Look at the temperature of the building. Is it okay? Is it a hot season? Is it too cold? Something like that. Those variations actually bring about the reduction in the number of eggs laid, guys. So I later realized that one of my chickens had actually started breathing with the mouth open. And then, which brings you to this point, guys. Now, diseases, guys, present themselves in different ways. When it comes to poultry, diseases present themselves, guys, in different ways. So you might find that there's a disease that is infecting your chickens, but the signs or symptoms are very similar to other diseases. So you get surprised, like you get shocked. Which one do I go for? Which medicine do I buy? Or which vaccine do I buy for this particular disease? So in preventing that disease, guys, it comes to a point where you have to look at the signs and symptoms. Now I realized that my chickens were infected with that is IB. In full, that is infectious bronchitis, which affects the lungs of the chickens. Therefore, one of the symptoms you will notice, or the signs, is actually rattling sound. That rattling sound, what we call rails, when the chicken is breathing in. So the chicken produces that, like it's something stuck in its throat. It is actually mucus which is stuck in the lungs, which is now preventing the air from passing through correctly. So that's when you get those, rattling sounds. Now, another symptom and signs of this infectious bronchitis is actually the chicken is breathing with the mouth open. You see, so it's even if it's cold, guys, or it's cool in the chicken coop, the chicken is actually, its mouth is wide open. So that should alert you, guys. Now the other thing is what you call a nasal discharge. Some watery discharge from maybe the nose, and part of it is actually from the eyes. So when you notice those two, guys, you will definitely know that this is infectious bronchitis, which are two greatly related to what you call the most common one, which as Newcastle diseases. And the vaccine comes in one vial, which treats both diseases, guys. So when you go to buy that vaccine, guys, you are actually being given one vial, which treats both of them. So let's look at the vaccine, guys. So here's the vaccine you're going to use for controlling the infectious bronchitis. It's a very economically depriving disease, and I just noticed it a week ago, guys. So this is the packaging. It's actually in ice, placed in ice. So let's open that. Oh, it's really cold. So that's it, guys. You can see that for 200 vials. Is it clear? I don't think it's clear, but I think it's written there, 200 vials. So you can see, so, or doses. rather doses. So I think this should be enough to treat the disease. So we have to add some water in it. Now we don't want to add a lot of water in it. The maximum we can add is 200 doses. So the maximum we can put here is actually 10 liters of water. That's the maximum we can put here. Depending on the number of chickens that you have. So mine are 250, so this one should do. I went for this one because it's a Newcastle disease. Actually, this is a Newcastle disease vaccine plus infectious bronchitis, which my chickens have been suffering from. So let's add some water in it and then give the chickens, because they're actually starving right now. They're very thirsty at this particular time. They have been I left them in the morning without water, so let's give them. So after administering the vaccine, guys, we'll have to give them like a let me give them 24 hours for them to get adjusted to the vaccine, because this is a live vaccine and it will have some effects on them which are not really good. It makes them discomfortable, and let me give them 24 hours, and then after that I'll start treating them. The bacterial infections, the effects of the disease, I'll have to treat that with the antibiotics. I'll have to give them some antibiotics, which I'm hopeful that they respond to. Maybe let me give them a week. Let me give them a week to respond to that. And therefore, if this goes away, I believe within 7 days or after 7 days, they should start, increasing the production so that we go back to normal laying, guys. We don't want to make losses at this particular time of the year, guys. It's December. We want to make more money, spend a lot of it, celebrate, and then, as we close the year, guys. So tell me what you think in the comment sections, guys. Tell me what you think. Have you ever noticed these differences in the diseases? Have you ever come across these differences? Have you ever encountered these? What was the solution? How did you go about it? How did you solve it? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section, guys, right here. And keep subscribing to the channel. And you can also share. It's free information. You can share with your friends. Share. It's free.